Hey, girlfriend, and welcome back to Cocaknotz, home of the Long Hair Society. Listen, today we're going to be talking about cosmetic procedures, and of course, we're going to be talking about long hair. Because what's the point of getting your body done if your hair ain't in the picture? That don't make no sense. Like, that don't even sound right. You feel what I'm saying? So, we're living in a day and age where if you don't like something about your body, oh, you can go get it bigger, smaller, smoother. You can do whatever you want in this day and age. If you think it's ugly, all you need is a pretty coin and you can go get it fixed. Before I get into the details, let me tell you what I'm doing with her hair. Now, she has been so diligent with her hair. Her hair has come a long way. When she first started coming to me, her hair was severely damaged. Her edges were like really in a desperate condition, and she has a little bit of hair thinning at the crown of her head, and this is all from wearing wigs improperly. She didn't mean to, but sometimes when you have the combs and the wigs involved and you're going wig after wig, even if you don't use adhesive, sometimes the friction can just take away your edges and rub off your crown, and you can be left with bald spots. But she has been coming to me for a while, and I have been putting her on a strict hair regimen. She has a lot of thick hair, and her hair is fairly healthy. Besides the thinning areas, her hair is really strong, and I'm so proud of how far her hair has come. You can really tell that her hair is on its way to fully repairing itself to 100% health. So I am going to oil her up after I finish separating her hair with my fingers, and I'm going to be using the Main Magic Growth Oil because her hair loves thick oils and it loves thick butters as well. So I make sure I oil her hair up and try to get it on every strand because I want her hair to be extremely moisturized in her sewing because, honey, she about to get her body done and she going to be recovering. So she definitely probably won't have time to really care for her hair. She has to focus on getting back into the regular routine, especially with a new body. Listen, I'ma just oil her hair up for her so she don't gotta worry about her hair. So I'm definitely gonna smother her hair strands with this oil, and then I'm going to make sure I seal her ends even more. Look at that ponytail. Her hair getting long and it's getting thick. Wow. I'm looking at this and I'm doing a voiceover and I'm like, dang, her hair is really doing good. Listen, I'm the bomb. But I'm proud of her for taking the steps and really being on top of her hair as well. So then I'm going to put the Main Magic and Repair Butter on her ends because, as you can see, she's still growing out some color that she had on her ends. And I'm just going to make sure that's super moisturized to make sure it doesn't get dried up in her sewing. And I'm just going to use this butter because it really does help your ends stay sealed and make sure your ends doesn't have any split ends or no kind of breakage. It's really just such a powerful mixture of butters. This little bottle really is full of so many vitamins and minerals to really nurture your ends. And that's why it's the end repair butter, because you will see a drastic change in your ends if you're experiencing any type of breakage or split ends or any type of excessive tangles and mats in your hair. Use this product and over time you will see your ends improve dramatically. And you know how it is. If you fix your ends, you basically fix your length because length begins at your ends. So I'm going to separate her hair even more using a wide tooth comb. Like I said, her hair is pretty strong. It wasn't always like this. When she first came to me, she was still shedding hair a lot. But we have made sure to get her hair in a healthier condition so her hair can handle some combing. And that's the beauty of switching over to hydrotherapy and incorporating oils and butters from the earth, because it literally will strengthen your hair from the inner cortex out, creating stronger hair that your hair can handle a comb. It can handle a blowout. It can handle heat treatment without getting heat damaged immediately. So definitely work on strengthening your hair. So now that her hair is oiled up and is pretty much separated, I'm going to get straight into parting her hair and braiding her hair down in a specific pattern so that her sewing can lay properly. So while we are getting this all done, let's talk about these procedures. Now, this lady in particular, she is getting a mommy makeover. She had triplets a couple of years ago, and she's just excited to get back into pouring into herself. I can imagine, but being a mother is just like you are there for everyone, the children, your husband, you have to work, and you have little to no time for yourself, little to no time for your hair, and definitely almost no time to really work out or eat right. And it's just so great that we are in a time and age where you can get the assistance from reputable doctors to help you, push you back into feeling like yourself again, somewhat. It's like getting back to you, but the remix. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to make sure that she does not have to think about her hair because she is on a long hair journey. And while she's recovering, we ain't going to just stop growing hair and let our hair run rampant on us. What's the point of getting snatched and then your edges get snatched out because you didn't have time to take care of your hair? So this is why I call this the best protective style for a BBL or a cosmetic procedure, because you are literally safeguarding your hair and safely putting your hair up while you get to collect growth, collect inches, and focus on healing your body after this major surgery. Now, most people will run and get braids for a cosmetic procedure, but I just really think that braids may be a little bit too much because it can be heavy, number one. It can be long, it can be really, really tight. And not only that, you're getting braids so you don't have to deal with your hair. But there are other options that you can do where you don't have to take care of your hair on a daily basis and you can still have a protective style and you don't have to be locked in with braids. And not only that, after about 2-3 weeks of laying in the bed with braids, it's gonna look a little raggedy. But with a sewing, in my opinion, like you can easily like brush that out and look a little bit more decent, and it'll kind of like match the aesthetic of your faja or like your waist trainer a little bit. You can kind of feel like the va-va-voom of your body coming together when you have a sew-in instead of like braids. Braids, you're gonna feel a little rough. You really ain't gonna feel like doing your edges like that. So it's just gonna look a little bit, I don't know, in my opinion. But go ahead and get braids if you want. But to me, getting a sew-in is going to look a lot more natural on you, because braids is just gonna, like, come on now, you getting your body done. Everybody know that's like a fake body, quote, quote unquote. And then you got some fake braids. Come on now, that's just like, that's not giving. So you definitely want to have a sew-in that looks very natural, something that's relatable to your hair texture. So once you get off that surgery table, you can look like everything can just flow, and it can look like your body, your hair, and you just look like that girl straight from the surgery table. Definitely you don't want to get a wig, because if you get a wig, that thing gonna come off. Who gonna help you? What, you gonna ask your doctor or your anesthesiologist to shift your wig back in place? That don't make no sense. And then the adhesive, and girl, you gonna be looking tired. All you gonna do is keep it in a bonnet. So why even go and get a wig? That don't make no sense. And you definitely don't want to be left with your natural hair, because the last thing you want to do is be in pain and on painkillers, and then you got to deal with what your hair in plaits, your hair in an afro. Girl, that's gonna turn real crazy. That's gonna probably slow your healing process down. So go ahead and get a sew-in and have your weave attached to your hair, so that if you take your bonnet off, at least the assisting nurse can help brush your little weave out, for you, and make you look a little decent. If you can't use your arms or anything like that, you can kind of get yourself together for your follow-up appointments. So definitely consider a sew-in. And if you do get a sew-in, get your hair sewed in like a week before your procedure, because just in case, like, it's a little bit too tight. I mean, if you don't get it from me, because if you get it from me, you ain't gonna have no problems like that. But if you go get it on for somebody, it might be a little bit too tight. And sometimes sew-ins for some reason the first week be a little itchy, then it stops itching for the duration of the rest of the sewing. So make sure you get a sewing a week before you actually go get your procedure. And a lot of times, like for instance, this lady right here, she's going out of the country to get her procedure. And you definitely don't want to be out the country not looking like the best. Okay, you want people to treat you good. You want to have your hair done so that, I'm not saying nobody won't treat you good with braids, but I'm just saying if you already look like $1,000,000 and you look like a superstar with a nice weave, like people gonna treat you better. They gonna be like, oh, okay. Your doctor might make sure you extra snatch because he sees the look you're already sporting. Okay, so now that I got her braided down, you seen I put the main magic drops on her hair. And yes, she is taking this on her journey with her because she's going to drop these drops in her hair while her install is in. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to wash her hair. So that's why I made sure I oiled her hair up and buttered her hair up as much as possible, and I sewed her hair on a net because we needed to stay in place. She chose a texture that her hair can easily blend with, so it's very simple, and I'm just gonna sew this thing in, and it's a very natural length, it's a natural color, and it literally looks like her real hair. So who gonna be able to check her when she get her body done? It's just gonna look like her. You feel me? So I'm just going to sew it in, and she's actually flying out the next day. So she doesn't even want me to wet her hair up or nothing. She just wants me to twist it up a little bit so she can just get in the bed and catch her flight in the morning. I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely give this a try if you plan on having any type of surgical cosmetic procedures, because a sewing is bomb. It's definitely going to help you continue to get growth, and that's what it's all about. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we are about getting growth any means necessary. Okay, bye.